how to model in Blender, and I've been taking a course and I'm a few hours in. And the strangest idea came to me to stream it, so I guess I'm gonna try and see how it goes. Working on making a character, that is what the course is about. Just finished modeling this leg. I need to do a little more work. I need to pull this edge in a bit, because it looks a little currently. Wait, no, not on the ZX. Very wrong. As you can tell, I am still just started learning. Right, what I want to do is everything but the ZX. Why is it all of a sudden in Z? Let's just cancel all movement. Let's get a nice overhead view. I think he's British, so he always calls it the Z-axis, so I'm probably after that. Bad leg. Just trying to figure out how legs work. I pressed Control Z, that was my... So, that's not a bad leg. Yeah, on the course I'm currently watching, the guy challenged me to do basically the exact same thing with this part, and this part. Which should be interesting to watch, at least. Okay, where on the leg is the calf muscle? It's pretty near the top, actually. I'm in. So that's not a bad leg. For a first time, not a bad leg. Now we're gonna work on the bottom leg. Not the hands or the head or... Don't remember that, which key it is that way. Okay, we're gonna go into edit mode. Control R? Yeah. Okay, the calf muscle is pretty close to the top. Put it about there, about 2/3, 3/4. Yeah, it like expands pretty fast into the calf muscle. Actually, let's not do that quite yet. Actually, no, yeah. Yay, we've made a square with more edges. So, I don't know what's gonna happen in terms of knees, if there will be knees. Go to face mode. Better view. That down. Angles aren't very big. If I get good at this, who knows? You might see some of it on the channel. feel like I need to scale this down a bit as well, which will probably lead to me having to edit some of the vertices of bigger than. Okay, now we're going to add loop cuts there. Oh wait, nope, I messed up. Oh, nope, everything's fine. Okay. So, see how much I actually learned, huh? In just a bit. I don't know what Blender is. It's a free 3D modeling software. If you've not figured out that it's a 3D modeling software by now, I don't know if there's much hope for you at that point. Seems like ankles are a lot sharper in the back and a lot smoother in the front. Just like feeling my leg. Apparently I don't know what legs are shaped like. So you might actually see, if I end up getting into this, you might see some of this sort of stuff on the channel. Or like animations or things I've made in Blender. I actually made an animation earlier just to see if I could figure out Blender. The thing I determined was that I could not figure out Blender. But it wasn't actually too bad. Might post it, we'll see. A really little, like, 2-second animation that I was able to do. Back. Will do. And let's... Y-axis. Tiniest bit to give it a little bit more of that curve. Okay. Okay, we're not looking too bad so far. There's not a lot of stuff left to move on this leg. And I do have the computer sound muted because I feel like since I paid for the course, if I accidentally streamed part of it, that would be a violation of so many things. Okay, and then G, Shift Z. Yeah, Blender's free. This is technically the experimental version of Blender, as that's the one they said they wanted to do the course in, so that's what they were doing the course in. So that was Control Z. That's why. So it's, I believe, 8.23 version. Shift Z. The control button is not useful. Not great. Not too symmetric. What have I done differently on these sides? Back. Okay. So if I press tab and we take a look at that, that's not a bad leg. We'll figure out how to connect it later. Since that is very much not the same size. And we can make it into the same size if we have to, because the thigh actually gets pretty small at the bottom. And then we're gonna mess around with the arm. So, unlike the leg where the muscle is at the top, the arm muscles tend to be closer towards the elbow. This is not very strong. I've not done anything with my triceps, so my biceps really. There, so let's work on that. Selected. I am not in edit mode. I was wondering why that wasn't working. Yes, we want it that way. And we want it about, let's see, starting there. About 3/4 the way. Not too far down or at all. Out there. About 3/4, right? Okay, and then we're going to be on face mode. Take this face, pull over here, scale it down. Take this face. Oh jeez, I did the weird thing of pressing scale when you're right next to it. So it doesn't, the arm doesn't itself doesn't actually get that much smaller. Jeez, that's like a coffin. We'll just go with that for now. And change it later. This is the quarantine skill I'm learning. How to 3D model. Okay, now we've got our lines going. I feel like the first thing I would want to do is pull in these corners. Grab it and then say to move it in everything but the x-axis. Jeez, when you just can't tell. Oh, we are succeeding, and that's the whole point. I'm actually gonna pull this vertice. I want to pull it in every direction except X. And yeah. Yeah. I'll definitely want to mess with the straight line vertices as well. Now that I've done that, let's mess with this side, see if we can get it to look good. About halfway in between. We're basically just making a fancy circle. vertice mode. Shift X. Okay. Mode. G shift. It just looks like a tube. A little bit in a weird spot, actually. This edge. Right. It's just a tube. That is not what arms look like. Arms do not look like a tube. The bottom of the arm seems to be a little more flat. But I'm not gonna mess with vertices too. I might mess with these vertices a little bit more just because it seems to make the whole thing pull in the and hitting these edge vertices with a little. Actually, I should probably hit that whole edge with something. His arms aren't perfectly round either, they're more ellipsoid. A little. Just to make it a little less tubular. That looks a little bit more arm-like. Goes out at the elbow a bit, but I don't know what we're doing for joints, so I'm not worrying about joints. I just leave it like that. Those points pretty sharp. These edges. I don't know exactly how we're gonna make it, but okay, you know, that doesn't actually look too bad. From the front, it looks a little bit shiny, but that's probably just because the direction. Okay, I'll start working on the forearm muscles. There's not a lot out near the hand. There's not. It tends to get wider from there. And the main muscle bulk is actually not even like halfway down the arm. Before that. Of course, like I said, I'm using myself as a model, and that is terrible. Manually frame it. Oh, look, okay, because then it centers my view on. Okay, forearm. So, we're gonna go into edit mode. Actually, we need to start in bar. We're gonna add vertical. Where? It needs to be less prominent than in the upper arm. So we're gonna put it about there, but we're gonna make it a lot less prominent. I thought I was face. The best camera angle. We're gonna scale that down about that size. This we're also going to scale down a bit. And we're going to do another loop cut there. There we go. Everything's fine. I thought I messed up horribly for a second there, but I didn't. Okay, actually the first thing I want to do is mess with some of these. Moving every axis. In a little bit. What I've just done is moved them up. So I can really only do one of these. Trying to have some ingenuity. That's more what I'm looking. Forearm is actually when you're reaching like that, the forearm is very sideways because it's the radius over the ulna, so it's only that thick, but it's a whole almost half an inch to an inch wider than that. That is the pose our character is making. So Right now we're just messing with vertexes, so this will not be the end result. We're turning a cube into an octagon. Subdivide. I don't think I want to mess with subdivisions. Those are actually about the same. Okay, now we'll start messing with edges. And we can mess with that vertex to make it smoother. On this edge. Some of these are so weird. I need to edit that vertice. That vertices. That thing looks like a rhombus. Maybe I just need to edit the top and bottom edges. Okay. I feel like if I wanted to move this, I would have to select the entire thing and then just... I feel like that's good for now. I'm going to watch the video and see what he does. Minutes. He didn't do the same thing. It's way better. So enemy. Okay, so we're going to go into edge edit. Okay. Going to actually, you know what? I'll do a little bit of what he did. Because it's still like I'll mess with it a little bit. Box here. But don't worry, we'll fix that again. Oh, of course I did. I did on both of them. Okay. Mostly flat again. Why is this bit not flat? The way he avoided that was just by going in the x-axis and then the y-axis. A lot more sense than what I am doing. Then if we look at the back, what he did was he went into vertex mode. This. In. That. And then he just scaled in the top faces, which I've basically already done. So I'm gonna grab this back a little. Oh. That centered it on the y-axis. I just press Y, that seems to center it on the y-axis. What? Yeah, I think it might have made another vertice. Move the normal people thing. edge vertices. I'm looking at it from the wrong side. Welcome back to Derek really can't do anything right. And move it. Okay. There we go. Oh, there's. Actually. He's forward a bit. Stop it. No, solid. Actually, no, I'm gonna have to. Okay, now let's take a look at it. See if we like it. It's definitely a little bit better. Don't like. One thing that he does have in particular that I do not like. I select these three vertices and move them along the y-axis. I can add a little bit of I can move them along the y-axis a bit. Get that kind of muscle definition in the back. Move this by itself along the y-axis a little bit closer, and then you can tell the back goes out further. There appears to be muscle. Okay, and then the foot. To grab this. Axis only. Down a bit to be like a hue. Oh, wait, he is. But he didn't. That was so. Okay. He wants that curvature to the foot too. Okay, control. What did I just do? think I refreshed the page. Okay. R. Okay, so I see what kind of movement he's talking. One and this one. I don't move them forwards that much. Now the challenge is to just make half a person. Oh. Alright, let's grab her to see. Actually, we can just do edge mode for. I don't know how you're supposed to actually make a foot shape. Like this. Actually, wait. G, then X. Y. Click back now, y'all. I don't have this time. Could try making an arch in the foot, but that might be that might be a little much, especially if said person is wearing shoes. Okay, we can use vertices though. Help us show it. If we bring oh, I don't have to press G again. Oh, if you click, you do. Okay, so that just resets it. Okay, it's starting to become more foot shaped. That was a little bit of a weird angle to do that from, but it worked. Lots and lots of patience. I think he's gonna talk about the mirror. What have I done to this foot? So it does actually seem pretty reasonable in terms of being a... What have I done? Did I have more than one vertice selected at some point? And just like screwed everything up? I must have. Yeah, that is actually what I did. Y-axis. Move it constraint. That is not half bad for my first time modeling a foot. Yeah, the back of the foot is a little bit pointy. Those are not even at all, so the question is which side? See. The fudge did I just... first thing I notice when I line up the foot is it is not aligned. Grab this and move. Actually, the inside of the foot is usually flatter than the outside. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna stop messing with the foot because I know I'm just gonna make it worse. I know I just said I'm gonna stop messing with it, but there is one more adjustment I want to make. Foot. Way too long on that foot. Foot looks fine. So I'm gonna need to mess with the torso, the head, the waist, and the hand. And then we're just gonna mirror it all, aren't we? Aren't we, friend? Okay. Making half a person. I saw the mirror tool already. I know it's a thing. Stop centering view on that. Hello, person. I have to make them look like a person? That's a tall order. That's a tall order indeed. I've given you a Lego brick. Figure out how to make a skyscraper. We already did a roll. Switch to edge mode. Let's not mess too much with the vertices if we can avoid it. Actually, you know what I need to do? That's not gonna. That's a pretty rounded hip. Can't make hips too round. Actually get out of edit mode, enter edit mode. Vertice mode, even though I said I don't want to play with that anymore. Now move them along the z-axis. I didn't realize what I did. Okay. Actually, the bottom of that's up. Now we'll just leave it. What's the worst that could happen? A little bit of rendering issue, whatever. Okay. I feel like the hardest part's gonna be the hand. The foot, you can just say, oh, they have shoes on. And it kind of looks like they have a shoe on. But a hand. You can't just say they have a hand. Can you? Edge mode. That was a little bit. Whatever I pressed, I didn't want to. That went out just a little. Okay. Make a nice human. A human. It's been an hour? What? This is what 3D modeling does? Take your time for itself? I'm trying to figure out how you like 3D model clothes onto something. Do you probably build it as though it has clothes built into it? Okay, now we're gonna center ourselves. Chest. This isn't gonna be the greatest thing, this is my first time. Then, and I'm following a guide. Tab, control R, vertical one. Not right. I'm gonna do a horizontal one. Chest kind of gets wider up just under the arms. There. Not quite about halfway, but a little bit higher. The chest gets a little bit wider. It gets narrower down towards the hip, and then the arms come out from the wider part, and that determines how broad you are. Textures might be the hardest thing at this point. Imagine trying to like make scale mail. That would be so hard. I feel like I could reasonably model a cloak easier than I could scale mail. You have to copy and paste each individual. You have to duplicate it, drag it in the right spot, and then duplicate it again and drag it into the right spot. Actually, I guess you could just duplicate it, move it along the x-axis or the y-axis. But good glory, can you imagine? I'm going to end up doing scale mail. Coming from my window. There also is the question of, am I making this character a man or am I making them a woman? Do I want to model it after a D&D character? And if so, which D&D character? If I tried to model it off of Orion, I would have to figure out how to do plate armor, and I am not anywhere close skilled enough for that. I guess I could do it off my warlock. Anyway. First things first, let's bring these corners in. Okay, new first things first. More of that. More edges, please. Doesn't really actually cut this if I needed to. Definitely need to at least cut that in half. Nothing else, it has to be cut in half. Okay. Now let's try. Yeah, that seems much better. I only have to do one side. That was very incorrect. Pull it in that way, just a trying to line it up with the waist. I feel like that's the smartest thing to do. So that seems pretty lined up with the waist. This was usually a little waist come in. Flare out. I feel like it makes more sense to me. Or at least hips are, I guess. So let's that was the wrong axis. If we move this along the x-axis only, comes in a bit towards the chest. Line up with the leg. gonna switch to edge mode. Waist. Wait, if that's the waist, then it should all come in towards the waist. Right? Or am I crazy? I say with a face like that, jeez, I look crazy. Okay, so yeah, it definitely needs to come in towards the waist. Which I can do. I didn't think about this, but... Nope, not that face. Okay, and then let's just scale that down. I am a genius, am I not? I figured I had to do a basic thing. And then we can do the same thing on the top. So, down a bit. Not quite as much. Top of your chest is usually not as thin as your waist, like a little. I say not as much, and then looks like a lot less though. And then if, let's say, we grab the waist, similar thing. And down out of the chest, and you've got like a proper waist going on. Kind of looks like a little skirt, just because the lines. Like, why did toModel won't look like a skirt no more? We'd only be messing with half a person. It feels so wrong. Okay, and then we want to line up vertices here. The chest. Go to vertices. That and that. Put it in. Up. Quite a bit. Just a touch. So we've now got a waist. That's good. Waists are good. It's going to take just all this. But I'm determined. And neck. That's what we're missing here. It all comes in and goes up again. So I feel like we need something for the neck. But a neck is technically a joint and we're not worrying about joints right now. Unless I am totally mistaken and missed that part of the video. That looks like basically a shoulder. So if we go out of that mode, start editing this, we can grab some edges. That one, that one, that one, that one. And move them down a little. Just move the edges down. So it's basically a shoulder which will hit and go straight into the arm. The arms now look way too big. Oh no! I'm determined. We're gonna save it. I have done so much work on this raking thing. I'm determined. Make it at least look decent. Go to a front view. It looks so weird because it goes back up on the other side. But we're only wearing about half. It pulled that way for some reason. All of them? Actually, I'd have to do vertices to fix that. Maybe I'll just leave it. But I will grab move them down just a little so they stop driving me insane. Shoulder is pretty much the top of the chest, and then it goes up from there into a neck. These are the shoulders. That is the base of the neck. The neck comes down to meet the front of the chest. Up just a touch. Kind of goes up to there and then hits the neck. Actually, the chest and the neck are two totally separate. Front of the chest is the lowest part before it hits the neck. Down a bit. Then it makes the shoulders more prominent. Oh, that was a good stretch, my bad. 4 p.m. I've got 2.5 more hours at most. By then, I want to have this woman done. At least to a reasonable extent. I want to have mirrored her by then. I'll have to mess with the arms, make the arms a lot smaller. I might just shrink the entire thing because they just feel so big. Like, arms are about as wide as the chest. They aren't, I mean, about as wide from the shoulder across to the elbow as the chest is. But arms are not very thick, unless you are Schwarzenegger. What did I just say? I feel like even using circles for elbows and knees would work just fine. I need to make half of them human-like. That is my goal. Half. And if it all messes up, then I'm gonna get so... I feel like I have to do the... Unless I find out I have to, I'm not going to. I really want to scale down these arms, they're annoying me. So I can select multiple items at once, but that seems like a bad idea, being new. We're going to go into editing mode. Actually, we don't need to be in editing mode for this. Scale along every axis except X. I feel like I need to scale on Y and Z separately. I feel like thinner arms like that just look better. It might just be personal preference, I don't know. Proper forearm. For an arm of that size. So more like that. Hand. Oh, I'm not looking forward to the hand. Oh. I hope I'm not supposed to, like, puzzle all these pieces together right now. Never said anything about that. Maybe I'll choose, like, a cylinder for the neck or something. Actually, I'd probably use a square. Cylinders have way... Cylinders, they have, like, 48 faces. Anyway, let's spin it back around to the front. Hey guys. Interesting. Okay, and then let's see. I feel like the leg is gonna fit here weird. I'm gonna worry about that later. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Got a little bit of mustache going. Tomorrow, tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to that hand or the head. But I need to start working on them. Oh. Why am I torturing myself like this? Specifically like this. How are you supposed to make a hand? So the palm is kind of like this. Then you have to make fingers. If you make the fingers solid cubes, it's easier. This thought just occurred to me. I mean, if you make the entire finger one thing. But then you can't really mess with hand animations. there's no way to make the hand open and close, because if it open and closes, it'll open and close on a hinge, basically, rather than on 3 separate hinges. I should do it proper. Also try fitting the pieces together. What is the name of the next one? Skill level, beginner level. I can agree with that. That point when you realize you did your arms weird. Arms don't look like that. Arms don't look like that. What the fudge did I just do? Like inflating it. That is not what I wanted. X 2.0805 meters. So if I know its location on X and Z, I can rotate it around the Z-axis and move it back. Because arms don't know. There's a much easier way, Derek. There's an easier way. My brain has figured out the easier way. Congrats, brain. I can take this loop cut and move it along the x-axis. Fill those up. That's an arm. What is he gonna do with the hand? You can't call that a hand! You did nothing to it! You just beveled it! You just beveled it! Do this to me, man. You can't do this to me. If I'm gonna make a person, I'm gonna make them look at least reasonably like a person. Not gonna just like go into the foot, but that's a foot. Not just gonna do that. Let's see. Wish there was a way to drag things together. Axis. Actually, you know what? First we're going to add R. I'm gonna put one about third the way down the hand. I feel like hands are really two squares. Thumb's gotta come from somewhere. Okay, let's just put it there. And then let's start doing edge select. Grab these. Let's actually grab that whole face. Let's scale it down. That already looks more like it than what he did. Granted, he's trying to do the most basic of concepts. So I totally understand why he did it that way. Scale it to about there. Scale in everything but the... everything but the z-axis. Scale in everything but the z-axis. Center. That will be where the fingers come from. And we are going to move that face. X-axis. Hands, you gotta love them. Because what would you do without them? Let's see. That. And then let's actually grab face select. Scale this face down more in everything but the y-axis. Doesn't that kind of look like a hand? Just a little bit, maybe. But the front of the hand, it comes out and then it goes in, being called the palm of the hand. Edges of the hand are usually high. What the fudge is it doing? That does actually work. Bottom. This hand is gonna look like a robot's a weapon. So, I feel like that edge is too big. We need more slices. Huge mistake adding. These slices. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create the palm of the hand. One simple thing. Beautiful. What's... This hand needs to be like a whole different shape. The finest of hands. That looks like the entire hand. Just have him holding something like that. Just add something for the thumb. And voila. Did I just launch Sea of Thieves by accident? No, my computer cannot handle this. No, please. Let me close it. Okay. I thought the title was Learning to Model a Blender. No. Looks like a purse, like an old lady is gonna hit me with it. Yeah, pretty much. Jeez. Hands are not easy to model. There's one thing I have learned today, it is that. So that's actually what it looks like. Okay. I have an idea of how to salvage this. That is fair. We might actually scale it down a bit. Smaller hand. Smaller hand. That seems a little bit more reasonable in terms of that might be too small. How big is the hand? How big is the hand? Yeah, I do. Trying to make that much of the hand. That needs to be scaled down more. This is what I realized. I don't know how the human body works. Or it looks like. Maybe you should make the hand in segments. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. I'm basically just trying to make the palm, everything without the fingers. Hands, man. The camera visible. Tricksy little buggers. Let's see. Let's go back into edit mode. Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, the problem is it's just really flat on the side, so I'm gonna try to smooth it out. Heard strange noises coming from upstairs. Let's see. So we're gonna move it in. We're gonna pull it in just a little bit. Same thing with the back. Of course. Move it in Z. See, now it's a little bit smoother. Polygon Jim. Gosh dang it. Oh no, I still have that. Let's just undo that. Let's not have those select. Polygon Jam. Okay, then we're gonna move along the y-axis in just a bit. the axis. One, we're gonna do the same. Big hands Barry. I made the hand smaller. Made it much smaller. So this is where the fingers are gonna be. I have no idea where the thumb's gonna come out of. Probably just kind of like the side here. So, in theory, what I want to do is no, I want to take these edges and move them down a little bit. Gosh dang it. Then I'm gonna do a face select. This. And move it a little bit in. So the hand doesn't look like it's freakishly long. Little palm. Move it back out. There. Now I'm going to go back to edge, grab this edge, move it in the y direction a little bit, kind of create that indentation of the palm. This one as Leroy Jenkins. So move this in just a little bit. You gotta be able to hold things. Like the tiniest piece. Like scroll out to see how big it is, and it's just like this tiny little, it's like few pixels on the screen. Okay, I think that's good for a palm. I'm gonna move these edges down a little bit more. That's gonna be where the thumb is. Ah. I feel like making this hand is going to be as complicated as making the entire body. Thankfully, I can mirror it and duplicate it once it's done. Okay. There's that. It looks so much worse in this mode. Is one thing I'd like to do with there we go. Hands. I'm never doing hands again, I swear. Hello, Cube. You're a little bit bigger than I need you to be. Maybe you should have kept it simple with a squished pentagon. Maybe I should have. Honestly, I still can. Maybe I will. Maybe. I think I'm going to, actually, just because this is so complicated. Let's not use vertices. Let's grab... move them in the X direction. That motion just looks so weird. And then we're going to move those in the Y direction a bit. Like... I feel like this is gonna be complicated no matter what I do. Fingers. Really pointy fingers. Fix that. Then I grab these edges and move them. It's a perfect hand. It's a perfect hand. To be fair, it's actually not bad. Definitely. So then the hand looks like that. Okay, no, I have to mess with that more. This needs to come towards me a little. That's a little bit too much. See that grayer section? Which grayer section? Every time I move the camera, there's a different one. This one? Are you talking about this one? Yeah, it's just based on light. But is that the one you're talking about? I still feel like they need the second portion of the arm. Yeah, what about the second portion of the arm? It's not gonna fit perfectly. I can fix that later. Oh, the second portion from the arm. This bit here. The bit that is not towards the light. Where's the light? Oh, the light's over there. Wait, no. Oh, the light's up there. I don't know anything about hands! I don't know what the human body looks like. I've been looking at it all my life, and I have no idea what it looks like. That is the head. Ink. Yeah. The second, yeah, this bit. Oh, cube. You can extend the top for thumb. I could. Let's try it. So, face, big edge. Let's. And it's still. If we then go. Oh my god! And let's mess with this face. All the faces are. Yeah, you can just leave it like that. It's a weird looking hand, but I can just leave it. Maybe I will. Slide it out like a Jenga block? I can't. I can't slide anything out like a Jenga block. It's all connected. Like... if I use the face tool and just move the face, it still does the same thing. Oh, what have I done? So I might just leave it like that. Oh, hand. Yeah. Yeah, I'm done messing with the hand. Screw the hand. What did I just press? Oh, I selected everything somehow. Free my camera! There we go. No, stop. I don't want to mess with everything. I just want my camera. Because now I have to deal with the head. Why, hello there. This is gonna be insane. I can already tell. So it's a sideways thing. The eyes are actually roughly halfway up the head, aren't they? A little bit more. There. Eye level. There's one thing I learned in art class. You always have to make sure you know where the eye level is and the mouth level is when making a head. And then we're going to add another one for mouth level, which is roughly there. Usually halfway between the eyes and the bottom of the face. Sometimes it's a little bit lower. Actually, I might make it a little bit lower. There. It just looks so strange. And then we're going to cut the head in half. Then we're going to... come on, do what I want you to do. Cut the head in half. Look at all these boxes we get to deal with. Then we're gonna go to face. Blam, 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 blam. Everyone knows heads are shaped like that. It's fine. It's fine. I think I need another line. Right there. Okay, and then try scaling it down. It looks a tiny bit more natural. Not much, but a little bit. We can fix that though. I can fix that. Pyramid head. If I want to do that, I would just add a pyramid. Yeah, I guess I can only add cones. I can't actually add pyramids. I'd have to make a pyramid out of a cube. Which honestly would be the easiest thing I would have done today. Then we need to shrink the bottom of the head as well. Oh. There we go. It's a perfect head. It's perfect. Just gonna leave now. Okay. Now let's make it look slightly more head-shaped. That is not what I want. Well, actually. Gee, what? Super hot. Super hot. Got the same graphics as Super Hot. Except Super Hot looks better. That far in. Now it just looks like a Lego brick. Or no, it's like Roblox. Fudge. I did that one to myself. Honestly, I could model a Roblox figure way easier than this. That is not right. Okay, the head's not working terrible. Yes, I am human. I make expression with my human face and feel things with my human hand. Yep, that's pretty much what this thing is. It's like the first iteration of a robot. Oh, that is not a proper shape. None of that is a proper shape. But it's because of that one. Oh, no, what have I done? No! No, stop it! So hard! The doctor squished his head when he was born. Yeah, into the shape of a Lego. Okay. Much, much better. A little. Still not aligned with this one. Make it human, they say. Will be easy. They didn't say that. I feel like horrible things will happen if I do this. Actually, no, everything's just fine. Honestly, modeling a blender would be so much easier. God, when creating humans. If only. Why is it ugly? Sound about right. I'm trying to make a circle out of a square. But I feel like using a circle would just make life harder. And it would look less like a person, probably. If it can look less like a person than this, then that's already an achievement. Able to make his head disappear into his torso like a turtle. Technically, yes. I technically can do that. Okay, a little more work is required with the head. If nothing else, then just... Somehow that made all the difference. But if I was going to make his head disappear into his torso like a turtle, negative 0.4246 meters. That is the worst location. And then I could just say, well, oh wait, no, undo that. And let's go. GZ. Oh. Go over to 100 and paste it. This is what happens when you Blender. Everything is repeating itself. Are you sure that's not because I set it to an animation? I made this with no former knowledge of how to use Blender. Looks a little bit janky. It kind of stops near the end. Which I can do better. Unless maybe I make it end about 95. X. There we go. No former knowledge of how to use Blender. I made a rotating, floating orb of doom. Because if that's the case, my computer does not like it when I'm using animations on Blender. Alright, well, been me learning how to use Blender. The individual pieces, hands are not a thing. Maybe, I'm not sure. There's D&D in about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on when people show up. But it is possible I might stream some Risk of Rain or something. We'll see. Great. I will see you all next time, and as always, Kalu im Villar, or walk with power.